So back on the Oxford Tube again, heading into London to see Tom Gresford, the architect Tom Gresford again. We've already seen him once to discuss the project initially. Since then we've been to see Charlie Luxton as well. And also since then I've been spending quite a lot of time stuck in a mammoth finance spreadsheet trying to predict our cash flow and our budget, which has been quite tricky. But we sort of think we've got somewhere which might be feasible, and we're really going back to Tom to have a look over the details of that and to see how that can work with the whole build process. Tom's, I think, potentially looking at something like a cross-laminated timber structure. So we need to understand how that works from a budget point of view, how it fits in with our sort of mortgage payments and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's not a particularly nice day, rainy, but we've got the afternoon off work to go and do this, so we'll go and see what Tom says today. I arrived at, I can't remember what this place is called, Dalston Kings something. Anyway, we arrived at Gresford Architects, so just to ring the buzzer. Which number is it again?
B12. Oh no, B13.
B13.
Hello?
Hello, it's Dean and Hannah to see Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you. So go through and see Tom, see what happens.
So Mike's view is broadly the same as mine, which is tight. But we should be able to, with a sort of basic level of service and specification, then we should be cool. And I think the thing about that, to me, the reason, I think it's a really good opportunity you've got. Mm-hmm. And if it was just you'd found a bungalow and you wanted to knock it down and rebuild it, I'd probably be saying, well, there are lots of bungalows, you'll be able to knock them down in the future and rebuild them, that's something. But this is quite a unique opportunity, and also the kind of stage you're at, a lot of the fixtures and fittings that might otherwise cost quite a lot of money, you can, because you're intending to be there for a while, you can revisit those. So it doesn't have to be, like we just had a quote, it obviously would be, we just had a quote in for joinery in a house, which is coming out to 120 grand for kind of wardrobes. It's nice wardrobes, quite a lot of them, just got a lot of clothes. But that sort of thing, if you want to spend 120 grand on wardrobes, you can in a few years' time or at another point when you might have the cash. The thing that to really focus on now is to get the envelope of the building, if that's what you want to do. And I think, Mike's feeling, as mine is that if we can tailor our service to make it work. Yeah. It is tight, but if we can go with a level of we should be able to achieve a certified passive house or built to that level, standard, and the certification cost. Especially if we go down one particular route of construction type, then we might be able to get the certification cost right down because we've been doing it. It's using the same system as we did at Cheveley. Okay. We've done a few other houses in that now, and it basically doesn't cost them very much to certify it because they've done so many of them for us. Louise, you got the mugs the wrong way around.
Oh yeah, that's a lady. Yeah. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I do. Thanks. Whereas I'm zip car, so don't know what it is. And then this space here, so then we've got the 5 metres back from here if you want to have 2 cars next to each other. Sorry, one more pink line. And then that gives you, because 5 metres is 2 cars next to each other basically.
Yeah.
So you're allowed 2.5 people per car. And that gives you
Is the
well, should we go downstairs? Let's go
yeah,
down and get
absolutely.
coffee.
Yep.
Yeah, I might be good for like gift pages and stuff.
So yeah, so that's that middle plot. So we think we'll probably actually be there.
One that you're going to aim for. That's your number one choice.
Yeah, possibly. It just depends on what costs and size and what.
I think we might have to come up with some sort of scenario thing where we say, if this happens, this is our selection. If this happens, this is our selection. And try and be a little bit adaptable within that. And it's like I say, if the corner one comes out too expensive, it rules it out. If these ones come out too small, then that
Then
rules
that
out.
then rules out, yeah.
And of course, it may be that nothing is viable, for all we know, and we have to just, can it and think of something
Wait
else.
for phase 2.
Yeah. I actually think that's a view of the street that we'll be looking at.
Right,
That is
yeah.
the corner plot,
Yeah.
because it's got fields on the left. It's got
So that's your plot. That's destined to be your plot. So we
Exactly.
definitely need to improve on that.
exactly. This time we've gone for burritos for dinner. Something a bit lighter. Still quite early actually, 5:30, so not quite dinner time yet. Just to note that if you ever need to go for a wee at Victoria Station, you need 50 pence each to do it, which we just about has. And then a lady came through with her daughter who really needs to go for a wee, so we gave her our 50 pence and then had to go and find change for £1. Anyway, that's beside the point. So I had a discussion with Tom, which, as the last time, was really exciting because we're talking about the design of the house and talking about the design of the house. I suppose it's easy to get carried away really, which is probably what we're doing to some extent, but Tom definitely has an appreciation of how tight the budget is and timescales and everything, so I think basically we've come to the conclusion that there's enough in the budget in terms of the total amount and the cash flow that we can make it happen one way or the other, and so for the time being we've just got to focus on the first stage, which is getting the plot registration done when they finally come out in May, and then moving on from there. So there's going to be, we know, some initial cost of getting that initial design work done by Tom and the costing by Tom, so I think we're prepared for that. And we're going to have to accept that we're slowly piecing this thing together bit by bit. We're going to have to sort of allow for a little bit of movement here and there, especially at this stage because you don't know exactly what the plots are going to be like. And yeah, so I think in terms of what Tom can offer us and everything else, it's really exciting, and Tom's got some interesting ideas, I'm sure. And yeah, so in case you're wondering, I've gone for a chicken burrito. Hannah's gone for pork burrito. So yeah, I'm just going to get these down our necks. That's not a very nice way of putting it, is it? We're going to eat these burritos, get the bus home, feed Lucas, and then probably go to bed. And yeah, I've got another meeting set up with Tom, so that'll be the next stage. And we're going to share our Pinterest board, and we're going to maybe have another little look over our design brief and just make sure that's as up to date as we can make it, and go from there. You never know, we might even have more details from Graven Hill soon. Who knows? So that's it for now.